We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS.
I think of how absurd it is. And this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case. He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our...
What do you get when you mix a Hollywood legend with a reality TV? President, a war of words that's more entertaining than any movie. Robert Niro has been roasting Trump harder than a Thanksgiving turkey, and we've got all the juicy details.
I think Hitler, Mussolini, they're fools and clowns. Well, there will be, and I hear it, there's some people, I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do? Well, I think, I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously, because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously.
But here's the million-dollar question, can Dow's verbal jabs actually land a knockout punch on the Teflon Don, or is he just shadowboxing with a guy who thinks he's Rocky Balboa? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. You know, folks, some people say Robert Niro has been taking shots at Trump longer than most of us have been alive. Okay, maybe not that long, but he's been at it since 2011, way before it was the cool thing to do. It's like he saw the future and decided, you know what, I'm going to start roasting this guy early just in case he decides to run for president or something crazy like that. But as Trump's political star started rising faster than his hair on a windy day.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because as you've said before, this guy's a con artist and he's gotten away with it for years.
I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency. It's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to...
Theo wasn't about to back down. Oh no, he was just getting warmed up. Remember when he called Trump blatantly stupid and a pig? That was like the appetizer before a 5-course meal of insults. Now let's talk about the 2018 Tony Awards. Niro steps up to the mic and boom boom, he drops the F-bomb on Trump. The audience went wilder than a bunch of seagulls fighting over a French fry. It was like Niro had been holding that in for years and finally let it rip. And let me tell you, it was more satisfying than finding an extra chicken nugget in your 10-piece meal. But wait, there's more. Dow's insults kept evolving faster than Trump's excuses for his latest tweet. It's like he's got a team of writers working around the clock, coming up with new ways to say, hey, this guy's a real piece of work. He even called Trump a deep fake president. I mean, we've all seen those weird AI videos where they make people say crazy stuff, but calling Trump a deep fake, that's a new one. It's like Niro has been binge watching Black Mirror and getting some creative inspiration. And here's the kicker, Niro is not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. He's been showing up outside Trump's trial like he's auditioning for Taxi Driver 2. MAGA Bugaloo, who needs Hollywood when you've got real-life political drama? It's like Niro is thinking, hey, if I can't punch this guy in a movie, I might as well yell at him in real life. Now some people might say, hey, isn't Niro just an actor? What does he know about politics? Well, let me tell you something. When you've been in as many mob movies as Niro has, you learn a thing or two about spotting a con man. It's like he's using all that method acting to get into the mindset of someone who's really, really ticked off at the president. But here's the million-dollar question. Is all this Niro drama actually doing anything? Are his verbal jabs landing any real punches on the Teflon Don, or is he just shadowboxing with a guy who thinks he's Rocky Balboa? It's like watching a boxing match where one guy is throwing haymakers and the other guy's just tweeting about how great he is at boxing. So what happens when you poke the bear, or in this case, the grumpy Trumpy? Well, folks, our boy Donnie isn't exactly known for turning the other cheek.
For everybody. And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French, they just want to with the rest of the country. And then what? We're going to sit around and say, what? We told you so? Or whoever, I told you so? It's going to happen. If he gets elected, it's going to change this country.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him. There's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see ever.
Trump, like a toddler who's just figured out how to use a slingshot, decided to fire back at De Niro. But let me tell you, those comebacks? About as effective as a chocolate teapot in a sauna. In all his orange glory, Trump called De Niro a wacko and said his movies weren't worth much anymore. Ouch, Donnie. Did you stay up past your bedtime to come up with that one? Bet he had to ask Melania to read him The Art of the Insult before bed just to prep for it. And don't even get me started on his nickname for De Niro. Punchy. Real creative, right? It's like he's trying to be a schoolyard bully, but forgot how insults even work. Maybe he should stick to building walls instead of burning bridges because his insult game is weaker than his spray tan. But wait, Trump wasn't done. He claimed he didn't know how small De Niro was mentally and physically. Really, Donnie? Making fun of someone's height? Some presidential material you've got there. But I guess when you're obsessed with measuring crowd sizes, you've got to measure everything, right? Maybe he's just jealous that De Niro's hands are probably bigger than his. Trump even suggested De Niro suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, of course. Anyone who criticizes the great and powerful Trump must be mentally unstable, right? I mean, it's not like there could be any legitimate reasons to dislike the guy who thinks windmills cause cancer and wants to nuke hurricanes. Watching Trump throw insults is like watching a toddler try to out-roast a Shakespearean actor. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for the toddler. Trump's insults? As effective as his hair in a strong wind. Fluffy, loud, and completely lacking in substance. He's tossing words around like confetti, but they're landing with the impact of a wet noodle. Meanwhile, De Niro's over here dropping F-bombs like they're going out of style. Trump, on the other hand, is collecting those insults like they're Pokemon cards, fueling his victim complex and riling up his base faster than you can say fake news. It's like Trump's a master at turning criticism into campaign rallies. So here's the real question. Are De Niro's Hollywood haymakers landing? Or is Trump just using them as toilet paper for his next tweet? Honestly, Trump seems to be thriving on this drama like it's his personal soap opera. And guess what? The internet's eating it up. When De Niro dropped that F-bomb, social media exploded like a Diet Coke can left in the sun. People were suddenly all, tell him, Bobby, like De Niro was their personal hero, taking down the big bad orange wolf. And the memes? They were everywhere. De Niro's face in Godfather-style edits making Trump an offer he couldn't refuse? Hilarious and spreading faster than fake tan on a sweaty day. But hold on. The MAGA crowd wasn't going to let De Niro roast their golden boy without a fight. They started boycotting his movies faster than Trump can tweet fake news. Some even started calling De Niro anti-American because, apparently, nothing says patriotism like supporting a guy who thinks nuking hurricanes is a good idea. I mean, we've all got short memories, right? Everyone forgot that speaking your mind is literally as American as apple pie and impeachment hearings. And here's where it gets interesting. While Trump and De Niro are throwing verbal punches, something weird happens. Their fans, both sides, actually find common ground in their shared love of creating increasingly ridiculous memes. It's like the internet's weird form of unity, where the most absurd takes center stage. De Niro's fan base? It's growing faster than Trump's obsession with crowd sizes. Turns out, a lot of people enjoy watching a Hollywood legend verbally smack down Trump. Who would have thought? Maybe next time De Niro's up for an Oscar, he can thank the Academy and the Electoral College. But wait, why did De Niro even pick a fight with Trump in the first place? It's not just because he woke up one day and thought, hey, I'm bored. Let's roast the guy who thinks windmills cause cancer. No, folks, there's more to this. De Niro has serious beef with Trump's policies. He's like a political pit bull, channeling all his raging bull energy into speaking out about what he sees as wrong. De Niro's not just throwing insults like confetti. He's making a stand on real issues. And sure, some people say he should stick to acting, but last time I checked, the Constitution didn't have a no actors allowed clause. If that were true, we'd have missed out on all those great political cameos. Turns out, De Niro's using his platform to call out Trump's handling of the pandemic, his immigration policies, and his stance on climate change. Honestly, he's been more vocal about the real issues than most politicians. Who knew the guy from Meet the Fockers could be so politically savvy? But here's the kicker. While everyone's busy arguing over whether De Niro should stick to acting or if Trump should lay off the late-night tweeting, the real issues are getting lost in the shuffle. We're all so caught up in this Hollywood versus MAGA showdown, it's like we forgot what we were fighting about in the first place. So next time a celebrity takes a swing at a politician, maybe take a second to learn about the real issues. Who knows? You might just learn something. And if you're still craving drama, don't worry. There's plenty more where this came from. Next up, Trump versus Michelle Obama, the ultimate showdown. Trust me, it's going to be huge.
Hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around the end, drop a blue heart in this comment. And until next time, I will see you soon.